We're live here at Georgetown High School. It's senior night here at the high school as Elgin comes in to take on the Georgetown Eagles in District 23 play. Senior night to recognize 7 of our seniors, and so we'll go live to the PA mic here in just a moment as they will talk about each of the seniors. They'll be introduced with their family, and so we will follow it live from the PA. So listen into that, and we'll go live to the PA announcer. And you will see it on camera and hear the PA. I will mute off and work on other stats as we have found out tonight at senior night. And so we get ready to introduce them. We go live.
Between the Elgin Wildcats and your Georgetown Eagles. Before we begin tonight's contest, we'd like to take some time and honor our Eagles senior players and their parents of the 2023-2024 varsity men's basketball team. Tonight, we'd like to recognize them and their commitment to our basketball program. During the last 4 years, these players have had an overall record of 79-45 and a district record of 32-12. They made the playoffs in all 3 seasons while reaching the regional semifinals 3 seasons ago. They've worked hard on and off the court to advance this program in the right direction. Let's meet our seniors. First up is Augustus Mangman. He is escorted by his parents, Kathy and Matt Mangman. Augustus is a 1-year letterman here at Georgetown. He was part of the soccer program and is currently part of National Honor Society at GHS. Augustus is undecided on where he plans to attend college, but he plans to major in finance. He would like to thank his parents, teachers, and coaches for helping him become the person he is today. He would also like to thank his teammates for helping him create great memories. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Augustus Mangman. Next up is Ronald Proctor. Ronald is escorted by his mom, Marissa McInnes, his sister, Xavier McInnes, his brother, Xavier McInnes, his brother-in-law, Lo Scott, his nieces, Zalia and Zari Scott. This is Ronald's first year on the varsity team. Ronald is involved in track and field here at Georgetown. His desire is to attend college and play basketball where he will study entrepreneurship. Ronald says, I want to thank my family for forever having my back and my friends for keeping my head on straight. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Ronald Proctor. Next, Hunter Urban. Hunter is escorted by his parents, Dina and John Urban. This is Hunter's first year on the varsity team. Hunter will be attending Texas A&M University and will major in sports management. Hunter says, I want to thank my parents for putting me in a position to play the game I love. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Hunter Urban. Next up, Landry Bouillon. Landry is walking with his parents, Shelly and Gary Bouillon, and his family, Addison and Tom. This is Landry's 2nd year on varsity. He's undecided where he will be attending college, but will major in business. Landry says, I would like to thank my coaches and teammates for making me a better player in person. I would also like to thank my family for allowing me the opportunity to play with this team. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Landry Bouillon. Next up is Cooper Christensen. Cooper is escorted by his parents, Kevin and Nicole Christensen, his sister Shelby, and his grandmother Elizabeth. This is Cooper's 2nd year on varsity. He is undecided on where he will be attending college, but says, I would like to thank my parents and Miss Canfield for being there for me. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Cooper Christensen. Next up is Charles Johnson. Charles is escorted by his parents, Brian and Katura Johnson. This is Charles' 2nd year on varsity. He participated in the long and triple jump here at GHS and is a member of the National Honor Society. He will be attending Texas A&M University and will major in mechanical engineering. Charles says, "Thank you, Mom and Dad, for pushing me to be my best." Ladies and gentlemen, senior Charles Johnson. And finally, Kai Canfield. Kai is escorted by his mom and dad, Ashley and David Canfield, and his brothers, Casey, Brayden, Tate, Jude, and Finn. This is Kai's third year on varsity, where he has served this year and last year as team captain. Earlier this season, Kai scored his 1,000th point in his Georgetown career. At this moment, Kai is looking to attend the Gap Year Academy, where he will continue to develop his basketball game while looking to take his talents to the next level. Kai says, "I would like to thank my mom. She has been with me every game and is always by my side." Ladies and gentlemen, senior Kai Canfield. The coaches would also like to thank all the parents for their continued support on and off the court. You've taken on many different roles while raising these boys. You've been doctors, nurses, role models, mentors, disciplinarians, coaches, taxi cab drivers, cleaners, waiters, waitresses. Most of all, you've been loving parents. The coaching staff thanks you and could not get through the season without you. Thank you. Enjoy tonight's game. And one more round of applause for your 2023-2024 seniors and their families.
So we come back live here at Georgetown High School. 7 seniors recognized here tonight live at the high school before this game here with the Elgin Wildcats. As you heard them, it is number 2, Landry Bullion. Number 3, Charles Johnson. Number 10, Gus Fangman. Number 13, Kai Canfield. Number 20, Ronald Proctor. Number 21, Cooper Christensen. And number 55, Hunter Urban. And so tonight they're getting their recognition as they have a senior night tonight. The Elgin Wildcats come in. Their head coach, David Wilson, they're 13-3 on the year, 1-1 in district play. The Georgetown Eagles, 16-6 on the year, 2-0 in district play after a big win on Wednesday night over the Pflugerville Panthers, 71-36. Other games in District 23 that occurred on Wednesday night, Georgetown was victorious over Pflugerville. Cedar Creek beat Eastview 72-48. Hendrickson beat Bastrop 83-42. And the Conley Cougars even their district record to 1-1 with a 54-50 win over these Elgin Wildcats. Other games tonight here in District 23. Elgin's here at Georgetown. Bastrop is across the way here in Georgetown over at Eastview High School. Cedar Creek's in Pflugerville to take on the Conley Cougars, and Pflugerville and Hendrickson are doing battle tonight over at Hendrickson High School. Other games to look forward to for this district will be next Tuesday. Georgetown will be on the road to take on the Hendrickson Hawks at 7 p.m. Eastview will be at Pflugerville to take on the Panthers at 7. Elgin will be on the road at Cedar Creek at 7 p.m. And then Conley will play at Bastrop, currently listed at 7:30 p.m. and it'll most likely be a 7 o'clock start for that game as well. And so tonight the battle is between the Georgetown Eagles and the Elgin Wildcats. That's the one we will bring you live here from Georgetown High School here on this beautiful Friday night as the crowd continues to pour in for this senior night. As the Elgin Wildcats on the road tonight, they're in the purple uniforms, purple shorts with white trimming at the bottom, purple uniform tops with dark lettering, or white letters, white numerals on the back of those jerseys. On the front is Elgin in capital block print lettering in white as well. Your Georgetown Eagles will be in the home white uniforms with blue striping on the outside, blue numerals, blue lettering on the front of those jerseys here for tonight's home matchup. The starting lineup for the Elgin Wildcats is selected by head coach David Wilson and his staff. They will go this way. At guard, a 6'1 senior, number 1, Nathan Lewis. At guard, a 5'11 junior, number 2, Amar Bermudez. At guard, a 5'9 junior, number 5, Marcus Hickman. At guard, a sophomore, number 10, Tyson McFarland. And I'm not unsure is his position. We had to add him in. We did not have him on the roster. Is number 21, Jonathan Richard. So the Wildcats will go Lewis, Bermudez, Hickman, McFarland, and Richard in their starting lineup. Other names that you will hear tonight that we will clarify now. Number 4 is a Braylon Rodriguez. His brother is number 12, Bradley Rodriguez. So I'll try to keep them as straight as I can when they both get in the game, because it inevitably will happen. They'll both be in the game at the same time. So if you hear Rodriguez to Rodriguez for the Elgin Wildcats, that is the brothers Braylon and Bradley. Your Georgetown Eagles tonight will go with their regular starting lineup as expected in a big battle here tonight. Georgetown wanting to stay undefeated. They're one of only two teams. The standings for District 23 currently, Georgetown and Hendrickson stand amongst the top. They are both 2-0 in district play. And then Elgin, Cedar Creek, Conley, and Pflugerville all at 1-1 on this young district season. And then Eastview and Bastrop both sit at 0-2. And so this battle tonight will be a big one. It's a chance for Georgetown to stay undefeated. It's a chance for Elgin to get back on their winning ways after a tough loss on Wednesday night to the Conley Cougars. And Conley, that was a tough out for Georgetown. Georgetown picked up that win right before the Christmas break on the road at Conley in overtime, 60-56. And so that's a battle, and you expect a battle here tonight between this athletic team out of Elgin. And last year we talked about how young they were, but yet how athletic they were, and to see them another year under their belt, and they have put on shows tonight, this year. They come into the ball game averaging 52.1 points a game, only allowing 43.7. Georgetown, on the other hand, averages 61.2 points a game, allowing 51.6 in district in the two games. Georgetown 65.5 points in district, 46 points allowed defensively. Elgin scoring 53 in district, allowing 54. On the road, Elgin is undefeated on the year. They are 5-0 on the road. Georgetown at home sits with a 7-3 record, and so an opportunity for Georgetown to continue to make that home record a little bit the place to play. You want to be at home and protect the home court, and an opportunity tonight, but against a tough Elgin team that comes in with an undefeated road record. We'll take a quick timeout. We've got plenty of time to come. 10 minutes, 11 and a half minutes left on the warm-up time. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll get ready for the national anthem. The Georgetown Eagles starting lineup brought to you by the PA, and then we'll be ready for Georgetown Eagle basketball. Thanks to Mack Hike, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and Mack Hike Ford Lincoln, your sponsors of Georgetown Eagle basketball here on the First Responder broadcast of Georgetown Eagle basketball. We thank them as they are our sole sponsors that keep it free for you each and every week. And we just reach out and thank them. That's where we take our Jeep for all of its service, and we think you should go and give them a visit as well. The service department at Mack Hike, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, second to none. Talk to that service manager. He might know a little bit about Georgetown basketball. He might have a little tie-in with his son on the team. We'll take a timeout, come back with more Eagle basketball here on the SHN Sports Network. Back here live, Georgetown High School. Less than a minute on the warm-ups. We get ready for the national anthem. Georgetown, Elgin set to do battle here in District 23. And we will bring you the national anthem. And then they'll go through the starting lineups for Elgin. And we'll prep for the PA announcer to bring you the starting lineups for your Georgetown, the starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles. It is a three-man referee crew tonight. You see across the way for tonight's ball game. And so we will go to the PA announcer and then bring you the national anthem here in just a moment on the SHN Sports Network.
Georgetown Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Back here live, Georgetown High School. We get ready for the starting lineups for your Georgetown Eagles. We'll go to the PA announcer, and we'll bring you Georgetown basketball live here on the SHN Sports Network.
Here they are, your starting five for the Georgetown Eagles. The 6-foot junior guard, number 1, Q Presley. The 5'9" senior guard, number 13, Kai Canfield. The 6'1" junior wing, number 21, Cooper Christensen. The 6'6" junior wing, number 25, Ryan Dupre. And the 6'9" junior post, number 44, Evan Mayhew.
So the Eagles will ring out Presley, Canfield, Christensen, Dupre, and Mayhew to start the ball game. It'll be Evan Mayhew in the middle to jump it against Jonathan Richard, the number 21 for the Elgin Wildcats. The Wildcats left to right on your screen as we started off tonight. Evan Mayhew, number 44, will jump it off. Kai Canfield on the far side, Christensen on the near side, and here we go. Tonight's ball game brought to you by Mack Hike, Ford Lincoln, Mack Hike, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Mayhew tips it back into the hands of Dupre. He'll give it off to Q Presley. And Georgetown will open up the ball game with the ball offensively. Q Presley to the right side into the hands of Kai Canfield outside the three-point line. Kai will dribble, kick it up top to Christensen. Back on the baseline to Mayhew. He'll look to drive baseline on Richard. Spin at the right block, drop shoulder, puts a shot up, no good. Battle for the rebound, but it's out of bounds off the hands of Amar Bermudez for the Elgin Wildcats. So Georgetown will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. 7:39 left here in the first quarter. Christensen to inbound, gets it to Mayhew. It's tipped out from behind. Christensen gets it back on the right wing, up top to Canfield. Thinks about the deep three, dribbles to the right wing, hands off to Christensen. He dribbles up top to Dupre. Fakes the three, drives in the middle lane, dumps it to Mayhew, right block. He'll put a dribble down, up off the glass, no good. Battle for the rebound. Mayhew gets it, tips it to Canfield. Little lane jumper, Canfield, good! Georgetown opens up the scoring, 2-0 on the Kai Canfield jumper in the middle of the lane. 2-0 your score. Elgin has the ball. Across the timeline comes McFarland, covered by Presley into the free throw lane. Kicks it right wing to Bermudez. He'll dribble to the top of the key and give it off into the hands of Lewis. Lewis looks to drive. He's cut off, spins in the lane. He'll put a floater up, and they'll count the bucket and get the foul on Cooper Christensen. So Nathan Lewis will get the opening bucket for Elgin, and he'll have a chance to make it a three-point play. Continuation went there. Christensen's first foul, first team foul on the Georgetown Eagles. Here in the first quarter. Lewis's free throw off the iron, no good. Evan Mayhew with the rebound. And so it's a 2-2 ball game. Early on here at Georgetown High School. Christensen to Mayhew on the left baseline. Up to Canfield outside the wing. Up top to Presley. Loses the ball. Gets it back before midcourt. And now an offensive foul there. And there the talking begins. And now is a warning issued by the official. Number 5, Marcus Hickman, immediately clapping and talking in the face of Q Presley, and he's warned by the official. Second team foul on the Eagles. So the Elgin Wildcats have it. Playing catch out top, Bermudez to the left. There's the offensive foul. Good job by Christensen. Good defense there, moving his feet. And Bermudez extended the arm. He's called for the offensive foul. First team foul on the Wildcats. First foul on Bermudez. Presley across the timeline, right side for the Eagles, top of the key. Stops there, looks into the lane, gets it to Dupre. Left elbow jumper, it's off the rim, no good. Rebound can't be handled by McFarland. Mayhew gets it back, backs down. Now up top to Presley. He'll take the deep three from straight on. It's off the back iron, no good. Canfield high for the rebound in the lane. He gets it, kicks it out. Dupre, left baseline three. God! Ryan Dupre knocks down a big three-pointer. His first shot of the ball game goes in there from outside the arc. And the Eagles lead at 5-2. 5:55 left, first quarter. Playing catch outside are the Elgin Wildcats. McFarland gets a high screen. He'll stop and pop a three from the top of the key. No good. Evan Mayhew. Ball tipped out of his hands by Richard from behind into the hands of Canfield, and Georgetown comes away with it across the timeline. Into the hands of Presley on the right baseline. He looks to drive. Tries to drive. Kicks it out to Christensen, left baseline. Into Mayhew. A right elbow jumper. In and out. No good. Battle for the rebound. Bermudez gets it for the Wildcats. McFarland has it. He'll bring it across the timeline. 5:30 left, first quarter. Kick it over left wing. Shot there by Hickman, and he'll knock down the three. His first shot of the ball game goes in, and it's 5-5. After the big shot by Hickman, his first 3 points. Into Mayhew. At the right elbow extended up top to Presley. He's on the right wing, covered by Hickman. Picks up his dribble up top to Dupre. Quick fire the three straight on. Good! Ryan Dupre, 2 for 2 from behind the arc. He now has 6, and the Eagles lead at 8-5. 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. McFarland gives it off to Hickman. Play catch around the outside. And now Lewis will try to drive all the way down. Mayhew blocks his shot, comes away with the ball. Gives it to Canfield. Kick it ahead to Christensen. 2-on-2. Christensen from the left side. Lay it up and in. 10-5. Georgetown leads it. Nice pass there from Canfield to Christensen. A good take. 4:35 left here, first quarter. 10-5, Georgetown with a 5-point lead. McFarland, top of the key, gives it off to Richard. Left elbow extended. Now up top to McFarland, off the screen, kicks it left wing. Bermudez, the left wing three-pointer, and no shot there. It's going to be an offensive foul whistled on Nathan Lewis, an illegal screen there. And that'll be Lewis's first personal, second team foul on the Wildcats, and Georgetown gets the ball back. Good thing on the foul timing there. The three-pointer went in by Bermudez. So wave it off. It's 10-5. Georgetown leads it, and Q Presley will bring it across the timeline. He'll dribble down right wing, push Canfield through. Goes into Mayhew at the right baseline. Mayhew with Richard on him, spins in middle lane, up top to Canfield. Quick set, fires three, and Kai Canfield knocks down his first shot of the ball game. First three-pointer of the ball game. He now has 5, and the Eagles lead at 13-5. And they'll get the timeout by Coach David Wilson for the Wildcats. 4:05 left first quarter, 8-point lead for Georgetown, 13-5. Quick timeout. Eagle basketball continues in a moment. Elgin after the timeout will inbound. McFarland brings it across the timeline. 4 minutes left first quarter. Bermudez, right wing into the hands of Hickman. Now up top to Bermudez. The lefty fires a deep three. It's an air ball. Lewis saves it underneath his own basket. Spins, kicks it out. McFarland left baseline three. Too hard, no good. Richard, the backside rebound. Kicks it out to Hickman. Drives in the lane. Blocked from behind by Landry Bouillon, who's checked in. But into the hands of McFarland. The Elgin Wildcats reset with 3:35 remaining. McFarland looks to drives in, kicks it out. Hickman, right baseline three on the way. Short, no good. Rebound battled for. McFarland gets it, kicks it out. Bermudez, he'll fire another three. A lot of threes being fired and not many going down. Bouillon with the rebound ahead to Presley. He'll drive in from the left side and he'll be fouled there. That'll be a foul on Hickman, his first, third team foul on the Wildcats. That should send Q Presley to the free throw line. It will. So Q Presley will go to the free throw line for 2 shots after the foul by Hickman. Presley's first trip to the free throw line, first trip to the line for the Eagles tonight in the ballgame. 3:21 remaining here, first quarter. Presley's first free throw on the way is good. So Q's first point of the ballgame. The lead up to 9 now, 14-5. Into the ballgame for the Wildcats is number 12. That's Bradley Rodriguez, along with number 4, Braylon Rodriguez, and number 11, Zaire Newells. He'll check in as well for the Wildcats. During that timeout, Landry Bouillon and Charles Johnson checked in for the Eagles in place of Christensen and Mayhew. And now Q Presley back to the free throw line for his second free throw. It's on the way, off the back iron, no good. Long rebound, tracked down in the corner by Presley. He'll drive baseline, goes up around pressure, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound. His putback, no good. Battle for the rebound, and it's out of bounds off the Wildcats. So Georgetown will get another opportunity. Great effort there by Q, just couldn't get the bucket to go. And now Richard for the Elgin Wildcats is down on the end. They'll be subbed out here as Aquad Rose, number 22, checks in. So now the training staff is going to come over and check on Richard as he's not sure if he was hit by an arm, an elbow, a ball. It was a battle down there, several rebounds. Several things getting passed around, and so now Richard is out of the gymnasium. So the training staff, Vanessa Rideau and company, going to check on him. So they're going to have to clean up some blood on the floor. We'll take a quick timeout while they get things cleaned up. We'll be right back. Eagle basketball continues in a moment. Looks like they've got the blood cleaned up on the in line, and so the Eagles and the Wildcats back on the floor. Looks like they're about ready to go. So Aquad Rose checks into the ball game, replacing Jonathan Richard. For the Wildcats. So on the floor now for the Wildcats, McFarland, the only starter remaining on the floor. Now he's got Newells, Braylon Rodriguez, Bradley Rodriguez, Aquad Rose on the floor with him, as well as number 12, Bradley Rodriguez. So the two Rodriguez brothers are both into the ball game with Rose, McFarland, and Zaire Newells. And so on the floor for your Eagles, Q Presley, Kai Canfield, Ryan Dupre, Landry Bouillon, and Charles Johnson. And so has to be disinfected with the blood on the floor, so they'll take their time to clean it up. They will not get things back underway with this being cleaned up on the baseline. And so you hope that that Jonathan Richard is okay as he went out with his nose bleeding. And so no foul was called there. It was a great job by Presley. He tracked down his rebound over in the far corner. and then drove the baseline, put a shot up, couldn't get it to go, got the rebound again, tried to go up again, and then the ball got knocked around and out of bounds off the Wildcats. So Georgetown will inbound on their baseline, 3:13 remaining here in the first quarter. 14-5, an early 9-point lead for the Eagles. Charles Johnson set to inbound. And he'll get it into Dupre, right baseline, spin move into the lane and puts it up and in. Ryan Dupre, he now has 8 points in the ball game. And the Eagle lead is up to 11, 16-5. 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Wildcats. McFarland dribbles off a screen, gives it off to Bradley Rodriguez. He gives it off to Newells. Newells backs out under pressure. Gives it off to McFarland. Reset the offense with 2:45 remaining. McFarland back to Newells. Kicks it out. McFarland, right wing three. It's on the way. Good. McFarland knocks down his first three-pointer of the ball game. Cuts it back to an 8-point game. 16-8. Dupre, top of the key, looks to drive on Rose, does. The right side runner up, too strong. Rose with the rebound, hands it off to McFarland. He'll push it up for the Elgin Wildcats. Backs up the dribble, kicks it right wing. Newell shakes, back up top to McFarland. He'll slow it back down with 2:15 remaining in the quarter. McFarland now to Newells. Newells looks to drive on Presley, hands off to McFarland, right wing. Looks to drive on Canfield, cut off at the free throw line, kicks it out. Braylon Rodriguez will drive in. Skip pass over to Newells, right baseline, fakes it out to Braylon. He'll drive in, loses it between two Eagles, and a steal for Landry Bullion. He can't get the handles on it, and he'll give it off to Dupre, and the Eagles will slow things down with 1:50 left here in the first quarter. Canfield has it right wing. No one picks him up. Quick fire three. It's too strong. No good. Rebound tipped out. Rose gets it for the Wildcats. Off to McFarland. McFarland across the timeline, and now he'll back it out as Presley picks him up. Tight defense there by Q Presley. 1:35 remaining in the quarter. McFarland gives it off to Newells left wing. Up top dribble. And then he's going to be fouled there by Q Presley. That'll be Q's second personal foul. And that'll be the third team foul on the Eagles. Here comes a couple of subs in. It's going to be Evan Mayhew and Cooper Christensen for the Eagles. Q Presley and Ryan Dupre will take a breather. And now another sub for the Wildcats, number 1. Nathan Lewis will come back into the ball game in replace of number 4. That's Braylon Rodriguez, so we'll take a seat. 1:33 remaining, first quarter. 16-8, Georgetown with an 8-point lead. McFarland will inbound on the backcourt to Newells. He'll hand it off to McFarland. The Wildcats will set it up. Trailing by 8. McFarland looks to drive. Cut off from the right elbow. Stops and tries to pop the shot and gets it to go. Nice shot there by McFarland. He has 5 in the ball game. The lead down to 6 now. 16-10. Georgetown leads it. 1:15 remaining, first quarter. Canfield right wing to Johnson. Johnson now to Christensen. Up top to Canfield. Swing it around the outside to Bullion. Up top to Johnson. Over to Canfield right wing. He'll drive all the way in the lane. Up and under. Puts one up. Too strong. No good. And the rebound there by Lewis. He's fouled by Canfield from behind. And that'll be a foul on Kai Canfield. His first 14th foul on the Eagles here in the first quarter. 59.5 seconds remaining. The Elgin Wildcats will get the ball back, trailing by 6. 16-10. McFarland will walk it up for the Wildcats. Crosses the timeline with 53 seconds remaining. Gives it off to Newells. Newells drives to the right elbow. Gives it off to McFarland. And he'll force up a shot as Canfield is trying to get back into position. And a good job there. He draws the foul on Canfield. So that'll be Kai's second personal foul, 5th team foul on the Eagles. But McFarland will go to the free throw line for 3 free throws. The clock stops with 44.9 seconds remaining. McFarland's first free throw on the way. Nothing but net. He now has 6 points in the ball game. 16-11, Georgetown by 5. McFarland, 2 more free throws to come. The second one rattles in. And a substitution here as Q Presley comes back in to the ball game with his 2 fouls. Kai Canfield will check out. McFarland's third free throw, good as well. And so he cuts it down to a 3-point deficit, 16-13. McFarland with the eight last points for the Elgin Wildcats. Cut this lead back to 3. Johnson on the right wing goes down low to Mayhew. He battles for it and tries to go up, but he's held there on the baseline by Rose. So the foul will be on Aquad Rose. That's his first personal foul, the 4th team foul on the Wildcats. So Georgetown will inbound with 34 seconds left in the quarter underneath their own bucket. Johnson to inbound. Looks to get it in. Gets it into Mayhew, and he'll lay it up and in between 2 Wildcats. Nice pass, nice bucket. Mayhew's first points of the ball game. And it's an 18-13 lead. 5 points again for Georgetown with 25 seconds remaining. McFarland, top of the key, looks to drive off the screen, kicks it out. Bradley Rodriguez dribbles up top, loses it, gets it back, kicks it off to Newells. He's into the lane, kicks it out to McFarland, right wing, deep three on the way. McFarland is hot. That's his second three-pointer of the quarter. Down to a 2-point deficit now for the Wildcats, 18-16, 3 seconds left. Presley will put it up, off the bucket and draw the foul. Q Presley got the Euro step, puts it up off the glass, draws the foul and gets the bucket. That'll be the second on Aquad Rose, 15 foul. Presley gets the bucket and a chance at a three-point play right here with 1.43 seconds remaining. So, nice move there by the senior Q Presley. Settles for the free throw on the way. It's on the way, nothing but net. 21-16, 5-point lead. And now Ronald Proctor will check into the ballgame for Q Presley. He's got the 2 fouls. So Presley now with 4 points in the half, 4 big ones there. 21-16, a 5-point lead. Lewis throws a three-quarter court bucket. It went off the front of the rim after it went through one of the banners in the rafters. And the first quarter comes to an end. 21-16, Georgetown leads it by 5 after 1. Quick timeout. We'll be back with second quarter action. Georgetown basketball continues in a moment. Georgetown High School at the end of 1. Georgetown leads at 21-16. Had as much as an 11-point lead there in the first quarter, down to a 5-point lead. And now Elgin will inbound the ball to start the second quarter. On the floor for the Wildcats. So back on the floor is Richard, along with Lewis, Hickman, McFarland, and Bermudez, the 5 starters for the Wildcats. Hickman outside the right wing, looks to drives baseline, cut off there, kicks it up top to Bermudez. He drives, gives it off to Lewis outside the left wing. He's cut off by Christensen, out to McFarland. McFarland, top of the key. He'll step up, take a three, and knock it down. He now has 14 in the ball game. McFarland with 11 points in the first quarter, now with 14. 21-19, Georgetown by 2. And there's a travel violation. I'm not sure how you call the travel if the ball was knocked out of his hands. But Evan Mayhew whistled for the travel after he was double-teamed. The ball got slapped free, and they called the traveling violation. So Elgin gets it back. 7:25 remaining, second quarter. 21-19, Georgetown by 2. McFarland over to Hickman, left side across the timeline. Top of the key, looks to drive on Dupre. Stop and pop. No, it's not. It's blocked by Dupre. Hickman couldn't get that shot over the 6'6 junior, and Ryan will bring it up for the Eagles across the timeline. Picked up by Lewis, picks up his dribble, kicks it over right baseline. Proctor sets his feet, fires the three. It's off the iron, no good. Cooper Christensen goes high, gets the rebound. Up top to Dupre, drives in the middle of the lane, dumps it low to Proctor, can't handle the pass, and it's out of bounds. Nice play there by Dupre. Proctor just could not get a handle on that pass, and it went off of Proctor out of bounds. So the Wildcats get it back, 6:55 remaining, second quarter. 21-19, 2-point lead for Georgetown. McFarland across the timeline, left side in the hands of Lewis, now to Bermudez, all the way back to Hickman on the right wing. Up top to Bermudez, he looks to drive, cut off by Proctor at the left elbow, out to McFarland, NBA 3. High arcing, short off the front of the rim, great block out by Proctor of Bermudez, and the Eagles have the ball back. Q Presley, Ryan Dupre, Christensen, Mayhew and Proctor on the floor for the Eagles to start the second quarter. Presley right wing in the hands of Dupre. Down to Mayhew on the left base, or the right baseline. Spins in, puts up a shot. He's going to be fouled there by Richard. That will be Richard's first personal foul, first team foul. And that'll send Evan Mayhew to the free throw line for 2 shots. Mayhew with 2 points in the ball game. And now his first trip to the free throw line. as Kai Canfield gets set to check in for the Eagles. 6:22 remaining, second quarter. 21-19, Georgetown, a tight one. 2-point lead. Mayhew's first free throw off the front of the rim, no good. And now Canfield will check back in for Q Presley. He'll check out with the 2 fouls. Canfield back on. He has to watch out as well. He has 2 personal fouls in the first quarter for Georgetown. Mayhew back to the free throw line for a second shot. It is on the way, and this one is good. 22-19. Georgetown leads it by 3. Wildcats play catch around the outside. McFarland now has it left wing. Looking for a screen. Up top to Lewis. He gets the big screen. Fires a straight-on shot. No good. Rebound tipped out. Canfield comes away with it for the Eagles. Canfield pushes it across the timeline. Behind the back dribble to get out of trouble. Gives it off to Proctor, right wing. 6 minutes left, second quarter. Down to Mayhew on the right baseline. Mayhew holds there. Looks to drive into the lane. Goes back door to Proctor. Proctor puts it up. A nice floater up and in. Ronald Proctor, his first 2 points of the ball game. A nice shot there by the senior Proctor, and a 24-19 lead for the Eagles. Back up to 5 with 5:45 remaining, second quarter. McFarland walks it across the timeline for the Wildcats. Looks to drive on Canfield. Does. Mayhew blocks it. Sends McFarland to the floor. Gives it off to Proctor. Ball's loose on the floor. Bermudez saves it to McFarland. Right baseline 3. Wide open. Buries it. 17 in the ball game for McFarland, as he has scored the last 17 points for the Wildcats. Dupre drives in. Can't get a foul call. Stolen away. Kick it ahead to Bermudez, and he'll lay it up and in for the Wildcats, and that'll tie it up at 24 apiece with 5:05 remaining. Bermudez now with his first points of the ball game. Breaks the scoring streak for McFarland and the Wildcats. Christensen has it left baseline. Tied up 24 apiece. Up top to Canfield. And he'll look to dribble off the thing, but they're going to call a foul on Ronald Proctor on an illegal screen. That'll be Proctor's first personal foul, first team foul on the Eagles here in the second quarter. 4:54 remaining in the quarter. Bullion will get set to check in for the Eagles at the next horn. 4:50 remaining as the Wildcats bring it across the timeline. Bermudez, top of the key, off a screen. Kicks it over to Lewis on the left wing. He'll drive across the top all the way down. Tries to throw up the runner. Can't get it to go. Mayhew had the rebound, but it was tipped over his back by Richard into the hands of Proctor. Here comes the Eagles. Canfield has it across the timeline. Gets the high screen from Mayhew to the right wing. Now Canfield, slow dribble. Delayed dribble. Puts a shot up. Can't get a foul call. Into the hands of Richard goes the miss. And here come the Wildcats. Kick it. Bermudez, right wing. Fakes the 3. He'll drive into the lane all the way. Mayhew can't get the block, and it's high off the glass. And that'll bring a quick timeout from Coach Canfield as the Wildcats take their first lead, 26-24. Here in the second quarter with 4:16 remaining. Quick timeout. Eagle basketball continues in a moment. Back here in action. Georgetown has the ball, trailing by 2. Their first time to trail in the ball game. Christensen up top. Dribbles to the right now, back to the left to Presley. Thinks about the 3. He's cut off by Hickman. Drives in, backs it out. Skip pass over to Christensen, right wing. He looks to dribble drive, and there he'll be fouled on the floor. And that'll be on 21. That's on Jonathan Richard. That'll be his second personal foul, second team foul on the Wildcats. And into the ball game comes Aquad Rose for Richard. 3:57 remaining, second quarter. Eagles will inbound underneath their own basket. Nice backdoor cut by Dupre. Get the bucket and the foul. What a take and what a pass. Charles Johnson gets it to Dupre, and he lays it up and in, draws the foul. Zaire Duels picks up his first foul. Third team foul, but count the bucket and 1 for Dupre. He'll into the free throw line with a chance to take a 1-point lead back. It's tied at 26 right now. Free throw rattles around and drops for Dupre. Dupre now with 11 points in the ball game for the Eagles. 27-26, Georgetown by 1. 3:45 remaining. Hickman up top to Newells. Gives it off left wing to Bermudez. He tries to drive, kick it up top to Lewis. Lewis looks to dribble drive on Christensen. Cut off, spins in the middle lane, drops it low to Rose. He's cut off, tries to dump it low and does. And there's Bermudez waiting for it, and he puts it in from the left side. Bermudez with 6 points in a row now for the Wildcats. They take a 1-point lead back, 28-27. Up top to Bouillon, over to Johnson, right wing, into the hands of Dupre. Dupre, skip pass over to Bouillon, left baseline three, fired by Bouillon, in and out, can't get it to go. Rebound by Zaire Newells for the Wildcats. 3:10 remaining. Hickman across the timeline, stops at the free throw line, kicks it out to Bermudez, right wing, back up top to Hickman. Kick it over to Newells. He'll look to drive on Presley. Kick it out to Bermudez, right wing, covered by Christensen. 2:55 remaining. NBA three from the right wing, no good. Battle for the rebound, and two Eagles collide as Johnson and Bouillon collide, and the ball's out of bounds off the Eagles. So the Wildcats will get it back underneath their own bucket. Christensen will check out. Evan Mayhew back in for the Eagles. And back in for the Wildcats will be Bradley Rodriguez and McFarland. So Rose, Lewis, Hickman, Bradley Rodriguez, and McFarland back on the floor for the Wildcats. 2:45 remaining, second quarter. 28-27, Elgin by one. McFarland gets a high screen from Rose. Right wing into the hands of Lewis. Quick fire a three. It's on the way. Too long, no good. Ryan Dupre with the rebound for Georgetown. Dupre will bring it up across the timeline. 2:35 remaining in the quarter. Left wing to Presley. Presley looks to drive in the middle lane, dumps it low to Mayhew, and he's right there at the right block, takes it and puts it in. Evan Mayhew now with 5 in the ball game. And the Eagles take the lead back, 29-28. Hickman has it across the timeline for Elgin. Top of the key against Dupre. Drives down, tries to dump it low. Good steal there by Charles Johnson into the hands of Mayhew, and here come the Eagles. Skip pass ahead. Presley left wing. He'll back it back out as the numbers weren't there for Georgetown. 2:05 remaining. Now Presley shakes his man, drives in, puts it up, count it out, 1, 2, Presley. Oh, baby, what a take there by Q. And he'll draw the foul and get an old-fashioned three-point play attempt here with 2:02 remaining. Give the foul to Aquad Rose. That's his third foul, fourth team foul on the Wildcats. Presley makes it a three-point lead, a chance to make it 4. And now a substitution here as Jonathan Richard will check back in for Aquad Rose. He's got his 3 fouls. He'll check out with 2:02 remaining, second quarter. And now one more substitution here as David Pinson will check in for the first time for the Wildcats as Hickman will take a seat. Presley to the free throw line. In the first quarter, Presley had 4 points, up to 6 now, a chance to make it 7 with this free throw. The free throw is good, and Georgetown's lead is back to 4 now. 32-28. 2 minutes remaining, second quarter, 2 minutes. Pinson up top in the hands of McFarland. High screen, dribbles against it, middle lane behind the back, and then the ball knocked free, but they're going to call a foul here. McFarland went amongst the trees and got a branch to the head or body. He drew the foul. It'll be on the floor. They're going to call that one, I believe, on Evan Mayhew. That'll be Mayhew's first personal foul. Second team foul on the Eagles. It's called on the floor there. Q Presley will check out. Christensen back in. Christensen, Johnson, Bouillon, Dupre, and Mayhew on the floor for the Eagles. 1:51 remaining. Pinson to inbound, gets it into McFarland. Quick fire of three. He's left open, can't get it to go. Dupre high for the rebound on the left side. Skip pass ahead to Christensen. Over to a cutting Bouillon for the right side. Lays it up, knocked to the ground. No foul call into the hands of Bradley Rodriguez. Coach Canfield beside himself. And now Lewis across the timeline. Right wing tries to drive on Bouillon. Cut off there outside the three-point line. Up top to McFarland. Minute and a half left, second quarter. 32-28. Georgetown by 4. McFarland dribbles against Charles Johnson. In between two defenders, loses it. And we'll see what they'll call here. They're going to call it on the floor. They're going to call it on Charles Johnson. That'll be his first personal foul. Third team foul on the Eagles. 1:21 remaining here in the second quarter. 32-28. Georgetown leads it by 4. Pinson to inbound for the Eagles. He'll get it into Lewis, right wing. He'll dribble towards the free throw line. Cut off there. He'll back it out, give it off to McFarland left side, and reset the offense. McFarland, top of the key, looks to drive, does. Lowers his head, kicks it out to Rodriguez outside the three-point line, drives into the lane, tries to go around Mayhew, blocked into the hands of Christensen. Here come the Eagles. Christensen all the way down the lane, the runner up, too strong, gets his rebound, but he's fouled from behind. That'll send Cooper Christian to the free throw line. The foul will be called on Bradley Rodriguez. That'll be his first, team 5th for the Wildcats. So So Cooper Christensen will go to the free throw line. 2 points in the ball game so far for Cooper at this point. First free throw on the way for Cooper. Nothing but net, and a 5-point lead for the Eagles. 33-28. Cooper's second free throw on the way. Drains that as well, and a 6-point lead for Georgetown now. 34-28. Eagles lead it. 1 minute left, second quarter, 1 minute as McFarland crosses the timeline for the Wildcats. Off to Richard, left wing, up top to Pinson. Right wing into the hands of McFarland, covered by Christensen. Up top to Lewis, fakes the three, looks to drive on Bouillon, cut off. Middle of the lane, tries to go in, kicks it back out. Pinson traveled, no call there. And now the Wildcats will slow it down with 38 seconds remaining. McFarland back out towards midcourt. Looks to drive on Christensen. Shakes him, bakes him in the middle lane, but Bouillon reaches in and ties it up. Great defense there by Landry Bouillon, and that'll go right back over to the Eagles as McFarland's complaining to the official here on the near side. But a great job there by Bouillon on defensive end. 31 seconds remaining, and Dupre will bring it up the court for the Eagles, leading by 6, 34-28. Dupre across the timeline, right side by the Wildcat bench. He'll slow it down here. Look for the last shot with 20 seconds remaining in this half. Dupre at top of the key now, out towards midcourt, slows it down. 14 on the clock, dribbles towards the right side with 10 seconds remaining. Gets a high screen from Christensen. Spins out of that. Goes right wing to Bouillon. Fakes the three. Drives in. 18-footer from Bouillon. Go! Bouillon lands it. 1 second left as they inbound to McFarland. He'll throw it the length of the court as he runs over Bouillon. The shot did not get off in time, and the first half comes to an end after 1 half of play. It's 36-28. Georgetown leads it by 8. We'll take a timeout, come back with some halftime stats and third quarter action. Georgetown basketball brought to you by Mack Hike Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Mack Hike Ford Lincoln. We'll return in just a moment. back here at the half. I'll unmute the button. It'll work a lot better. 1.5 minutes left in the break here between quarter 2 and 3. Mackay Ford Lincoln and Mackay Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram bring you Georgetown Eagle basketball this year. Proud sponsors of First Responder Broadcasting here on the SHN Sports Network and Georgetown Eagle boys basketball. Thank you to Mackay Ford Lincoln and Mackay Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your sole sponsors of Georgetown Eagle basketball. Will bring it free to you each and every night that the Eagles play. A minute left here at halftime. Scoring for the Wildcats in the first half, 2 points for Lewis, 3 points for Hickman, 6 for Bermudez, 17 points for number 10. That's Tyson McFarland. For your Eagles, 7 points for Q Presley, 5 for Kai Canfield, 4 for Cooper Christensen, 5 for Evan Mayhew, 2 for Landry Bouillon, 2 for Ronald Proctor, and 11 for Ryan Dupre. At the halftime, Georgetown shooting 43% from behind the arc, 48% in the two-point category. Overall in the field goal percentage, 46% on the half, 7-9 from the free throw line of 78%. The Wildcats shooting 83% from the two-point range, 31% behind the arc. Overall, their field goal percentage is 45%, 3 from 4 from the free throw line at 75% as well. Both teams only 5 turnovers whistled on them in the first half each. And so a big second half here as the Eagles will come out. And the Wildcats will have the ball. The Eagles will be on defense to start the third quarter. They have the 8-point lead, 36-28. And the Wildcats will send out their starting 5. Lewis, Bermudez, Hickman, McFarland, and Richard. The Eagles will send out their starting 5 as well. Q Presley, Kai Canfield, Cooper Christensen, Ryan Dupre, and Evan Mayhew. Wildcats will inbound the ball. Hickman ingrounds it to McFarland in the backcourt. They'll play catch around the outside of the arc until they get the ball back into the hands of McFarland. He'll look for the screen, gives it off to Richard on the right elbow extended. Looks to get rid of it now, gives it off to Hickman on the left wing, drives to the free throw line, spins, back to Richard on the left baseline. Travel, no call there, drives in middle lane, fade away over Mayhew is good. Oh, Jonathan Richard knocks down his first points of the ball game to open up the scoring. And a 36-30 lead for Georgetown. Up top to Dupre. Ryan back left wing to Christensen. Drives in, back to Dupre up top. Looks to drive, ball stripped away, gets back on top of it. Kicks it over to Canfield, right wing. He'll drive into the lane, skip it over to Christensen, but it's through Cooper's hands, out of bounds. Cooper, a clap of the hands, no, and he should have held on to that one. And a turnover on the Eagles, 7:17 left, third quarter. And the Wildcats get the ball back. McFarland will bring it across the timeline. And the Wildcats will weave it around the top of the key. Setting it up, give it off to Richard. Right elbow extended. He'll hand it off to Lewis. Lewis, deep NBA 3, right wing. Gets off the back iron, no good. Ryan Dupre, another rebound. Gives it off to Q Presley across the timeline, near side. Outside the three-point arc. Goes down to Mayhew at the right block. Mayhew spins in the middle of the lane. Lays it up, but can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Puts it back up and in. Evan Mayhew now with 7 points in the ball game. Nice job of the officials there not to call the flop as Jonathan Richard fell to the ground on Mayhew's spin move. And they let that one go. Mayhew gets the rebound and the putback. 38-30, Georgetown leads it by 8. 6.5 minutes left, third quarter. Hickman off a screen, a high arcing three-pointer. Off the back iron, no good. Canfield with the rebound for Georgetown. He'll push it up the far sideline, and he'll dribble towards the wing. Drives in, kicks it out. Presley, right wing. He has it up top to Christensen. Back to Canfield, right wing, into the hands of Presley. Right baseline 3 on the way. Can't get it to go. Rebound McFarland on the backside for the Wildcats. Skips it ahead, but Cooper Christensen read it and stole it into the hands of Canfield. He'll stop and pop a 3 outside the arc. Kai Canfield said, I'm not driving it in. I'm taking it and burying the 3. 41-30, Georgetown leads it. Big shot there by Kai Canfield now with 8 points in the ball game. 5:50 left here, third quarter. 11-point lead again for Georgetown. Matches their largest of the ball game. McFarland step back 3 off the back iron, no good. Rebound Canfield. He'll push for the Eagles across the timeline, but he'll slow it down up top to the key. Give it off to Mayhew. Mayhew holds there, gives it off to Presley, right wing. Presley looks to drive baseline, does stop and pop a 14-footer in and out, no good. Long rebound in the hands of Lewis for the Wildcats. Lewis will push it far side across the timeline. Stutter dribbles in, elbow jumper up and good. Nathan Lewis, his 4th point of the ball game. Knocks that one down. Cuts the lead back to 9 for Georgetown with 5:15 remaining in the third quarter. 41-32. Presley off to Canfield, right wing, back to Presley, right baseline 3, fires it quick. Two. Presley now with 10 points in the ball game, knocks down that 3. And the Eagles take the 44-32 lead. Their largest lead of the ball game is 12. And a quick timeout from head coach David Wilson of Elgin. 5:09 remaining third quarter. Quick timeout. Eagle basketball continues in a moment. back out of the timeout. Elgin will have the ball. They'll inbound it and bring it the full length of the court. 5:05 left here in the third quarter. 44-32, Georgetown by 12. McFarland across the timeline. Gives it off to Richard. The left elbow, looks low, back up top to McFarland. Off a screen, left elbow jumper by McFarland, good. He has 19 points in the ball game, his first bucket of the second half. 44-34, 10-point lead for Georgetown. Canfield left wing to Christensen. Cooper has it there. Down to Dupre, out to Canfield, right wing, fires a three. Good! Kai Canfield knocks down another three-pointer. He now has 11 in the ball game. And the Eagle lead back up now to 13, 47-34, 4.5 minutes remaining. McFarland, left wing. Now up top, gives it off to Richard. Richard looks to control the offense from there. Backdoor cut to McFarland. Stopped outside the three-point line. Backs behind a screen. Quick fires a three. It's a brick across the backboard. Ball slap free. Richard gets it. Blocked by Mayhew. And Mayhew, one referee gets a jump ball, one that was going to call a foul, and it's going to be overruled. It's going to be a jump ball. What a job there by Evan Mayhew, giving the block of the tie-up, and the ball goes back over to Georgetown with 4:12 left in the third quarter. Substitutions here in the ball game for the Eagles. Bullion and Christensen come back in for Mayhew, Bullion and Johnson come back in for Christensen and Mayhew. 4:05 left, third quarter. Dupre outside the three-point line, left wing, up top to Bullion. Gives it off to Charles Johnson, loses it, gets it back, tries to go low to Dupre. It's stolen away by Lewis into the hands of Bermudez, and then a foul there. They call it on Charles Johnson. Of all the contact tonight in the physical play, that was maybe the most sensitive foul called. That'll be Charles's second foul, first team foul. Coming to the ball game, Zaire Newells for the Elgin Wildcats as Hickman takes a seat. Newells inbounds to McFarland in the backcourt. 3:55 remaining third quarter. 47-34, Georgetown by 13. Largest lead of the night for the Eagles. McFarland, top of the key, dribbles on Canfield to the right elbow. Kick it out to Bermudez. He'll drive into the lane. Stop, pop, an 8-footer. Short off the front iron. No good. Richard gets the rebound. Kicks it out. Bermudez to McFarland. Right baseline. 18-footer on the way. It's good. McFarland knocks it down, cuts it back to an 11-point deficit, and he now has 21 in the ball game. 47-36. Presley, right wing, up top to Canfield. Now to Johnson, all the way around to Bullion on the left wing. Up top to Presley. Left wing fires three. Off the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound. Canfield knocks it loose, but into the hands of Bermudez. For the Wildcats, he'll give it off to McFarland. 3:15 remaining, third quarter. McFarland across the timeline. Top of the key against Canfield. Looks to drive, kicks it over. Lewis, left baseline, cut off by Bullion. Kicks it up top. Canfield with the steal. He'll skip it ahead to Presley, right wing. Presley looks to drive in. He'll back it up. Now drive baseline. His little floater up. Can't get it to go. Yes, got it to go. Cue Presley. A clap of the hands. He was glad that one went. Now with 12 in the ball game. A beautiful take there in the hesitation move. Looked like he was going to pull it out. Went back down low. The floater up and in. 49-36. Georgetown by 13 again. 2:45 remaining, third quarter. Lewis drives in the lane. The runner across. He dumps it low. It's off the back of Dupre into the hands of Canfield. Skip pass ahead to Presley. He'll lay it up left side. Good! Canfield the assist. Presley with the bucket. He has 7 now in the second half. 14 of the ball game. And the Eagle lead, the largest of the ball game. McFarland. Steph Curry, three from the left wing. No good. Bullion with the rebound. 2:20 left. Canfield ahead. Presley right wing. He'll stop. He'll try to pop a three. It's off the iron. No good. Canfield rebound. Tries to go up with it. Loses the ball. Bermudez has it. He'll dribble across the timeline. Into the free throw line. Runs over Presley. Offensive foul on Bermudez. What a job. Q. Presley. Oh, baby. Take a bow, Q. What a ball game here for the senior. Q. Rod Presley draws the charge. And a timeout from head coach David Wilson. 2:10 remaining third quarter, 51-36. Georgetown by 15. Eagle basketball continues in a moment. of the timeout. The Eagles have the lead, 51-36. The foul was called on Bermuda as a charge. That'll be his second foul. First team foul on the Wildcats here in the third quarter. Presley in the backcourt. Wells picks him up full court. Tried to reach in there, can't get it. Presley across the timeline. Gives it to Canfield, back to Presley. He'll drive from the right wing down to the baseline. Out to Canfield. Fakes the three. He'll take it over McFarland. Fires it in and out, no good. Johnson, the backside rebound to Bouillon. Up top to Dupre. Fires a three. Ryan Dupre drains a three, and the largest lead of the night. It's 18. And Coach Canfield wants a timeout of his own. 1:42 remaining third quarter, 54-36. Georgetown leads it. Quick timeout. Eagle basketball continues in a moment. Out of this timeout, 1:42 remaining third quarter. Georgetown leads it 54-36 after a big three-pointer by Ryan Dupre. McFarland for the Wildcats across the timeline, 1:35 remaining. The Wildcats go in the zigzag outside the line. McFarland off to Hickman. He'll get off a high screen. Now kick it over to Rose, right wing. Back to Hickman up top, loses the ball, gets it back. Backs it out, resets the offense, drives into the lane. Tries to go up and under, no good. Dupre with the rebound. He'll give it off to Q Presley, and he'll slow it down with a minute 15 remaining here, third quarter. Presley across the timeline, right wing to Canfield, back to Presley, over to Dupre, left side, into the hands of Charles Johnson. Pop out to Canfield, left wing, into the lane. He'll kick it out. Dupre, right baseline three on the way. Off the iron, no good. Bouillon, backside rebound. Gives it off to Charles Johnson, up top to Canfield. Canfield resets. 54 seconds, and then he goes into Dupre at the free throw line, but they'll call a travel violation on Canfield here. So a turnover on the Eagles. Gives it right back over to the Elgin Wildcats with 53.4 seconds remaining in the third quarter. McFarland will bring it across the timeline. 47 seconds remaining in the quarter as he crosses midcourt. Canfield picks him up, dribbles right wing. Elbow jumper extended, no good. Rebound. Dupre tips it out to Charles Johnson. Dupre ahead to Bouillon. Left wing will drive all the way in, contested, and he'll draw the foul. Can't get the bucket to go, but Landry Bouillon will go to the free throw line. They'll whistle a foul on Hickman. That'll be Hickman's second personal foul. Second team foul on the Wildcats. And Landry Bouillon will go to the free throw line for the first time of the ball game. 32.53 seconds remaining. Bouillon's first free throw is good. Number 4, Braylon Rodriguez checks into the ballgame for the Wildcats, replacing Jonathan Richard. And Bouillon, his 3 points now in the ballgame. Chance to make it a 20-point lead if he can knock this free throw down. The free throw on the way. In and out, no good. Battle for the rebound. And Bradley Rodriguez comes away with it. Across to Hickman, across the timeline, right wing. Looks to drive on Presley. The fadeaway jumper high off the rim, no good. Dupre with the rebound. 18 seconds remaining. He'll give it off to Q Presley, and the Eagles will set up for the last shot here in the quarter with a 19-point lead. Right wing to Canfield. Down to Dupre on the right baseline. Back to Q Presley. Down to Canfield. Off the screen. Right baseline three. Good! Canfield knocks down his third three of the quarter. And the third quarter comes to an end. 58-36. Georgetown by 22. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Fourth quarter action. Georgetown Eagle basketball brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting here on the SHN Sports Network. back here for fourth quarter action. Georgetown leads it by 22. Thanks to a last-second three-pointer to end the third quarter by Kai Canfield. Wildcats have the ball to start the quarter. Kick it out. Bradley Rodriguez, right wing, drives into the lane. Kicks it out. Braylon Rodriguez, left baseline three, short off the iron. Bradley gets the rebound back. Will back it back out into the corner. Picks up his dribble. He'll have to try to get rid of it and does. Up to Braylon. Braylon double team. Tries to dribble out of trouble and does. Gets it off to Hickman, but he loses the ball. It's on the floor and loose. And now they're going to call a foul on the floor here on the Georgetown Eagles. So they call it on. They're going to call it on Landry Bullion, his first personal foul. First team foul on the Eagles here in the fourth quarter. McFarland brings it across the timeline. 7.5 minutes left. Fourth quarter. He'll stop and pop an NBA three, and it's good. Now with 24 points in the ballgame is McFarland. Cuts the lead back to 19, 58-32. Cooper Christensen left wing. Drives in the middle lane. Drops it off to Mayhew on the right baseline. He'll drive into the lane. Tries to kick it out. Stolen by McFarland. And here goes McFarland to push it for the Wildcats. All the way in. It's blocked by Bullion. And the ball tipped out. Blocked by Mayhew into the hands of Canfield. Canfield's going to take it in and lay it up and in. Kai Canfield took it coast to coast. 60-39. Georgetown leads it. Canfield now with 16 points in the ballgame. And the Wildcats inbound. Great block by Bullion and then by Mayhew. And Canfield took it the coast to coast for the lay-in. McFarland right wing, fakes the three, drives in the floater over Mayhew. No good. Mayhew with the rebound. He'll give it off to Cooper Christensen. Christensen will bring it across the timeline. Right wing, right baseline. Q fakes the three, steps sideways, takes the three, knocks it down. Q Presley, 17 points in the ballgame. 63-39, Georgetown by 24. McFarland across the timeline to Hickman near side. Top of the key for Hickman, looks to drive on Q Presley down the right block, throws a floater over Mayhew, no good. Mayhew with the rebound, gives it off to Presley. Presley pushes, skip pass ahead to Canfield, but that's a rocket that sailed over the head of Canfield and off the camera lady's leg. And that's going to bring four substitutes into the ballgame for the Elgin Wildcats. We'll try to straighten them out here in a minute. Bermudez, Lewis, Pinson, and Richard come into the ballgame. McFarland will stay on the court for the Wildcats. Everyone else leaves for the Eagles. On the court are the five starters now. Canfield, Dupre, Presley, Mayhew, and Christensen. McFarland against Canfield, kicks it over. Pinson, right wing, fires the three. It's an air ball. Richard, backside rebound, blocked on his putback by Mayhew. Kick it over to Presley. Presley across the timeline. He'll try to cut in front of Bermudez, and he'll be fouled there. Bermudez will pick up the foul. That's his third. First team foul on the Wildcats here in the fourth quarter. And Coach Canfield's going to take a 30-second timeout. 5:50 left here in the ballgame. Georgetown leads at 63-39 over the Elgin Wildcats. Quick timeout. Elgin and Georgetown action continues in a moment. Out of the timeout. Georgetown will inbound. Christensen to inbound. He'll get it into Evan Mayhew. Drives the middle lane. Spin. Tries to go up and does around Richard. Up and in. Mayhew now with 9 points in the ballgame. And the Eagles extend their lead. 65-39, a 26-point lead. McFarland tries to pass low. Ball off of the leg of Christensen out to Pinson. Lewis, left wing, fires a three. It's off the back iron. No good. Rebound by Richard. Into the lane. Fadeaway jump stop. And he'll knock it down. Jonathan Richard knocks down his second bucket of the game now with 4 points in the game. 65-41. Eagles lead it. Christensen up top. Dribble drive, now backs it out, gives it off to Canfield. Right wing, dribbles up top. Stops, now back in. Dumps it low to Mayhew, but the ball pops out of his hands into the hands of Bermudez. Off to McFarland. Here comes the Wildcats. McFarland left block, throws one up, can't get it to go, but the tip put back by Lewis is good. Lewis now with 6 points in the ball game. 65-43, Georgetown by 22, 4:45 remaining in the ball game. Christensen left wing, fakes the three. Dribbles towards the top, slows it back down as he backs it out, gives it off to Canfield, right wing to Q Presley. Presley drives baseline, dumps it low to Mayhew. What an assist and a bucket for Mayhew. He now has 11 in the ball game. And a great assist there by Q Presley. And the Eagles back up by 24, 4:25 remaining in the ball game, 67-43. McFarland up top against Canfield to the right elbow. Fadeaway jumper up, good. McFarland is on fire. He now has 26. 67-45. Presley left baseline, fakes the three. Kicks it up to Dupre, but it's going to be a backcourt violation on the Eagles as Dupre was cutting back towards the top of the key. And so the Eagles turn it over. 4:05 remaining here in the ball game. 67-45, Georgetown by 22. Pinson to inbound. He'll throw it into the backcourt into the hands of McFarland. Picked up by Canfield at the midcourt stripe. McFarland across the timeline. Left side looking for a high screen, gets it from Richard. Towards the right wing, top of the key. McFarland drives, kicks it out. Bermudez right baseline three on the way is an air ball. Richard gets a backside rebound. His putback is no good, but he'll be fouled there by Cooper Christensen. So Richard will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Cooper's second personal foul, second team foul on the Eagles here in the fourth quarter. Jonathan Richard to the free throw line. First free throw is good, 67-46. 5 points now in the ball game for Richard. 67-46. Richard ready for his second free throw on the way, good as well. So a 20-point lead now for Georgetown. Richard now with 6 points in the ball game. 67-47. Q Presley to the left wing. Reverse dribble back towards the top. Gives it off to Christensen. Cooper near midcourt. Dribbles past Pinson. Takes it in. Dumps it low to Mayhew. Batted free by Bermudez. Saves it to McFarland. And here come the Wildcats. 3.5 minutes remaining. McFarland. Right wing, right baseline. Lewis fakes the three, drives in the one-handed floater. Up, no good. Rebound tipped free. Mayhew saves it and bounces to Bermudez. Bermudez's shot is blocked, but he will be fouled and go to the free throw line. A good fake there by Bermudez to draw 2 men in the air, and Ryan Dupre whistled for the foul. That'll be Ryan's first personal foul, third team foul on the Eagles. So Bermudez to the free throw line. He has 6 points in the ball game to this point. First free throw on the way is good. Lead cut to 19 now for Georgetown. 67-48, 3:21 remaining here in the ball game. Bermudez fires his second free throw, knocks it down as well. And now it's down to an 18-point lead as number 11, Zaire Newells, checks in. 67-49. Georgetown by 18, 3:15 remaining as Canfield crosses the timeline, right wing, gives it off to Mayhew. Back to Presley on the right wing. Covered by Bermudez, drives into the lane, all the way to the hoop, up and under. Q Presley, great move, couldn't finish. It comes off the iron too hard. Richard with the rebound. Off to Newells, kicks it ahead. Bermudez, right baseline, fakes the three, drives into the right elbow. All the way to the left elbow, gives it off to McFarland. He'll step over, take a three-pointer from the left wing, in and out, no good, but he's fouled in the act of shooting. And that'll give him 3 free throws. They'll whistle on Kai Canfield. That will be Canfield's third personal foul. That'll be the 4th team foul on the Eagles here in the fourth quarter. And that'll send McFarland to the free throw line. He's 3 for 3 from the free throw line in the ball game. Chance to cut it back to a 15-point deficit, but misses the first one. 67-49, Georgetown by 18. 2:54 remaining in the ball game. McFarland readies for his second of 3 free throws. This one on the way is good. 67-50, a 17-point lead for Georgetown now. And McFarland with one more free throw to come here. Readies and fires. This one is good as well. 67-51, 16-point lead for Georgetown. And the Wildcats will now pressure full court against the Eagles. Presley, man-on-man coverage as Zaire Newells tries to cover him across the timeline. He'll back it out towards midcourt, 2:45 remaining. Presley behind the back dribble, kicks it back up to Christensen. Bermudez covering him. Christensen goes right wing to Mayhew. Back to Christensen. Slow it down with 2.5 minutes remaining. And there's the foul on Bermudez. He was trying to time it to go behind the back of Christensen to make the steal, and they call him for the foul. That'll be Bermudez's 4th personal foul. That'll be the second team foul on the Wildcats here in the fourth quarter. Georgetown will inbound here on the near sideline near midcourt with 2:29 remaining in the ball game, up by 16. Christensen to inbound. Tries to get it to Mayhew. It's tipped free. Dupre comes away with it. Over to Canfield, left baseline, and he gets it up and in from the left block. Nice pass from Dupre. Give him the assist and give Canfield another bucket, 18 of the ball game for Kai. And the lead back up to 18, 69-51. McFarland kicks it out. Lewis, left baseline three on the way. It's off the iron, no good. McFarland back to Lewis, left baseline three on the way. It's no good. Dupre taken to the floor by Richard. They're going to call it on Jonathan Richard. That's going to be his third personal foul. Third team foul on the Wildcats. 2:04 remaining here in the ball game. Inbound to Canfield, back to Presley. The Eagles have it with 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. 2 minutes remaining as Q Presley brings it up against Newells across the timeline. His pass tip. Canfield comes away with it. Dribbles up to the right wing. Fakes, drives into the lane, but a blocking foul there by McFarland as he had his feet moving. And now a technical foul whistled. Let's see who that's on. I think it's on Nathan Lewis. And it is. The personal foul is on McFarland. That's his first personal foul. That's the fourth team foul. And then a technical foul whistled on Nathan Lewis. That'll be a personal on him, his second. His first technical foul. That will be the fifth team foul. And that will send Kai Canfield to the free throw line for the technical shots. First free throw from Canfield, rattles around and in. (70-51). Georgetown by 19. Canfield's second free throw in and out, no good. But Georgetown will get the ball and inbound here on the near sideline with 1:48 remaining. Ronald Proctor will check in for Evan Mayhew for the Eagles. Lewis checked out for the Wildcats. Checking in is number 4, Braylon Rodriguez, to replace him after the technical foul. And now into the ball game comes number 10, Gus Fangman, one of the seniors. He'll check in here for Q Presley. Christensen to inbound for the Eagles, near sideline. Gets it into Fangman, back to Cooper. Cooper will bring it across the timeline. Covered by Braylon Rodriguez. To the right wing, slows down, up top to Proctor, left wing. Fangman down to Dupre, left baseline three, fires it off the rim, no good. Rebound by Richard, skip pass ahead. Zaire Noels comes away with it. Down to Bermudez, his layup is up and good. 70-53 as Bermudez gets his 10th point of the ball game. Still by the Wildcats. McFarland has it right wing, 1:15 left. Loses the dribble, gets it back into the lane, kicks it out. Bermudez fakes the three, now steps back, fires the three. It's no good. McFarland with the rebound. He'll dribble out of trouble outside the three-point line, give it off to Newells, back to McFarland. McFarland dribbles against Canfield. 1 minute remaining in the ball game. 1 minute. McFarland top of the key, fakes a man in the air, fires the three. It's short off the front iron. Canfield with the rebound. Kai will slow things down. Under 50 seconds now in the ball game. 17-point lead for Georgetown, 70-53. Canfield over to Christensen across the timeline in front of the Eagle bench. And a quick timeout by Coach just for a substitution to get the last senior into the ball game. It's number 55, the 6'4 senior Hunter Urban. He'll check in for Ryan Dupre with 41 seconds remaining here in the ball game. Georgetown leads it by 17. The Eagles 41 seconds away from going to 3-0 in district play. The Wildcats will drop to 1-2. And the Eagles will go on the road Tuesday to take on the Hendrickson Hawks. Inbound to Canfield, left wing. Canfield holds there, 38 seconds remaining. Skip pass over to Fangman, right wing. Up to Proctor, swing it around. Christensen has it, top of the key. 32 seconds remaining, right wing. The pass stolen by Bermudez. Here come the Wildcats. Bermudez up and around Christensen. Can't get it to go, but he'll draw the foul. That'll send Bermudez to the free throw line. And Cooper Christensen picks up his third personal foul, 15th foul on the Eagles. Bermudez has 10 points in the ball game. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Goes back there with 26.45 seconds remaining. The lefty fires the first free throw, nothing but net, 70-54. Cooper Christensen will check out. Landry Bullion back on the floor for the Eagles. So now all 5 players on the floor for Eagles, the seniors. This free throw from Bermudez is good as well, 70-55. Charles Johnson will check back in. And he'll replace Kai Canfield. The last 26 seconds of the ball game here. Fangman inbounds to Proctor. Back to Fangman in the backcourt, covered by Newells. Fangman dribbles against pressure. Here comes the double team over to Proctor. He'll get it across the timeline, skips it ahead to Johnson. Richard steals it, throws it ahead to McFarland, but outside his reach, tries to save it. Proctor cuts it off, saves it inbounds, up the near sideline. Back down baseline, Bermudez will drive in the baseline, run over Proctor, and a blocking foul called on Proctor. That'll send Bermudez to the free throw line with 4 seconds remaining. That'll be Proctor's second personal foul. And Bermudez a chance to go 6 for 6 from the free throw line as he's 4 for 4 here in the fourth quarter. 4.61 seconds remaining. Georgetown will advance to 17-6 on the year. Elgin will fall to 13-4, 1-2 in district play. Elgin's next ball game will be on Tuesday. They'll be at Cedar Creek to take on the Cedar Creek Eagles. Free throw is good by Bermudez. He now has 13 points in the ball game. Chance to cut the lead down to 13. This free throw on the way, good as well. 70-57. Proctor inbounds, will dribble out the last 3 seconds, and that's the ball game. Georgetown wins it 70-57 over the Elgin Wildcats. A 13-point victory here on senior night. That gives the Eagles a 3-0 record in District 23 standings. And their next action will be on Tuesday night against the Hendrickson Hawks. We'll take a quick time out. We come back, we'll have a couple interviews. And Coach Canfield, you're listening to Georgetown Eagle basketball on the SHN Sports Network. Here live, Georgetown High School. Some final numbers here from Georgetown High School in the ball game against the Elgin Wildcats. The Wildcats, 6 points for Lewis, 14 for Bermudez, 3 for Hickman, 6 for Richard. And leading all scorers in the ball game is Tyson McFarland with 28 points on the night. For your Eagles, 4 points for Cooper Christensen, 3 for Bouillon, 2 for Proctor. 11 points for Evan Mayhew, 14 points for Ryan Dupre, 17 points for Q Presley, and 19 points for Kai Canfield. So for your 5 starters, again in double figures for the Eagles. And a great job by the Eagles here tonight to get the win over the Elgin Wildcats, 70-57. Quick timeout. It looks like we may have all the seniors. We'll see who we got here in just a minute. We're back in just a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. All right, we're live here back at Georgetown High School, and I'm joined by 2 of your seniors tonight, and what a ball game they have. Q Presley, 17 points, Kai Canfield, 19 points. Boys, again, 4 of the 5 starters in double figures. This team goes to 3-0 in district, a big night on senior night. What a fun night. A good ball game against an athletic Elgin Wildcat team, but you guys just played some great defense, a lot of blocked shots for Evan Mayhew, a lot of runouts. You guys seem to just continue to fuel this fire, to feed each other, and just move the ball around. Another 17-point night, Q. Talk about this tonight. How much fun was this one?
It was a lot of fun. You're going to win on senior night for our boys. You know, they had fun tonight, so it was good to get a win.
Kai, you have 19 points to follow up the other night against when we had Pflugerville in here, a big win. You guys didn't get to play much in the fourth quarter. A game like this, you guys are called, the starters are called on a lot to play a lot of minutes in a game like this. How much fun do you guys enjoy that, knowing it's a high-intensity game, a high-pressure game against a good team, but an important game to get this win? How much fun is that one?
Oh, it's really fun. I love these competitive games. This is what makes basketball, this is what makes it fun for me, so it's competitive.
A senior night like this, you guys get to go out with a big win, and now a few days off. We got a Tuesday night tilt on the road against the Hendrickson Hawks, coming into the night, the only other undefeated team in district. Now we'll see what they did tonight. Another big game, another road test. Conley, the first game of the conference, you guys go in and get that win. How big is it, and what do you guys have to do to go into Hendrickson and get a win on Tuesday night?
You know, like Coach has been saying all week, let's go 1-0 on Tuesday. Next game up, and let's just go into practice and work hard.
Okay, you guys look forward to this. You guys, you seniors, you lead this team. You take on a Ryan Dupre, one of the juniors. You take on an Evan Mayhew that seems to keep getting his confidence in and keep just crashing the board, going for these rebounds. How big is it for you guys to pass this kind of leadership on to guys like that are going to carry this torch next year as you guys look to go 1-0 next Tuesday against Hendrickson?
Oh, it's huge. Just the seniors, coaching up the younger guys, and then they'll be coaching up the young, even the freshmen and sophomores. But we're looking for 1-0 next game.
That mentality, you guys have taken that, and it seems to be digging into this team. How much fun is that mentality of now we put this game behind us? When we come back on Monday, it's focus on Hendrickson. Is the buy-in 100% across the board for this team, that 1-0 is the focus, and that's all we're looking forward to?
Yeah, we know we can't keep thinking about the passion. We're 0-3, but 3-0, but we just got to keep moving forward and next game up.
Kai Canfield, a big night tonight. All your siblings here with you, your parents on senior night. Shout-outs before I let you guys go and enjoy this win?
No shout-outs tonight.
No shout-outs on senior night. Maybe just shout-out just to my senior buddies right here. Kai Canfield, Q Presley, two big ballers tonight, 17 points, 19 points. You guys go enjoy the win. I'll bring the coach in and talk to him. Good job, Kai. Coach Canfield, 1-0. Yes. I don't care. I ain't playing that game. It's 3-0 in district play, and what a win tonight. I tell you what, you talked about that. I'm not going to say who scheduled senior night tonight. I mean, she might be standing right down below us, but a big night for these boys to test their mentality on a big night to worry about the team and to focus on the team, but a big night to let the team become more important than the night.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I like starting seniors on senior night, and we sat down and we talked and we said, what's our purpose? What's our goal? Our goal is to win a district championship, and our seniors understood, and it was a big night. And our guys, they competed, they played hard. Number 10, our focus was number 1, and I knew number 10's good. He's only a sophomore, and he's good.
28 points on the night for Tyson McFarland, a great performance for him to lead all scores. How big is that for you guys? We talk about that. You've talked about some of the shutdown defense you've seen from Ryan Dupre, from Cooper Christensen. It happens again tonight. Nathan Lewis couldn't get on track. Every time it just seemed like he was not comfortable until he got something around the basket. But then you let a guy like McFarland, but the guy you intended to keep from beating you did not beat you again. How key is that to these guys to buy in and continue to believe that, hey, let's go, the team runs this, and we go 1-0, a big week this week of 2-0 to move yourselves to 3-0 district?
Yeah, it is big. And our guys they're locking in and understanding the importance of what is our objective, what is our goal. We wanted to keep them out of the paint because they do a great job of finding their posts and scoring around the rim. And they put up a lot of bad shots on the perimeter, and that's just because we sat down on the defensive end and we played solid man defense. Talk
about that a little bit real quick. Evan Mayhew, a night of all nights for that young man. It seems to me, the outside observer that loves to call these ball games, that young man's confidence in himself and the confidence of his team in him is growing each and every game. In a game like this tonight, he stood his ground. He blocked shots out every quarter of the ball game, getting rebounds, kicking it out, controlling the offense some, and going through him and getting that kick out. How big is that becoming for this team that Evan is now kind of just finding his niche and becoming confident in himself?
I don't know how many conversations I had with officials about how they call Evan, because he is so big and guys love to run into him, and he's been doing a great job of keeping his hands up and not bringing them down. And I tell him, dude, you're 6'9", and your wingspan is 7'4". Just make him shoot a difficult shot, and he's deflecting, getting blocks, and with his feet on the ground. It's amazing. And so when we make it difficult for players to get to the rim and score because of his defensive presence, it's great. Now, turn it on the offensive end. He's a willing passer. He's a great passer, and I love the fact now that he catches it, and if it's a one-on-one, he's going to try to score, going to try to make a move, even if he missed a couple early. I'm happy. Go try, big fella. Go get some scores.
Showing that confidence and just continue to make things even more difficult to figure out how to cover this Eagle offensive team. Now we turn our tide. The 3-0 is now put behind us at the end of tonight. These kids can go enjoy this. Tuesday night, another road battle in District 23 coming into the night, an undefeated Hendrickson Hawk team. What do you guys have to do to be ready for a tough Hendrickson team?
They're, in my opinion, they're a little different than some of the other teams that we played so far. In they don't have the guy, and so they are a great team, and they are a team-oriented, team first. So it's just going to be important for us to get in our gaps, squeezing the lane, keeping them from getting to the rim and close out on shooters. Other than that one possession where they had 4 offensive rebounds, I thought we did a pretty good job on the boards, blocking out and getting them. And we're going to have to keep that up in Hendrickson. They're a very good team.
That'll be Tuesday night on the road over at Hendrickson. Any shout-outs tonight on senior night before you get out of here?
Oh, the whole senior class, their families. It is a great class. The parents are so awesome, and they're willing to help. They're supportive, and it's just it's a great group.
Go enjoy this win. 17-6 on the year, 3-0 in district play. Your Georgetown Eagles, a big win tonight, 70-57 over the Elgin Wildcats. We'll take a break tonight. We'll call it quits, and we'll come back Tuesday, 7 o'clock. We'll be live 6:45 with the pregame 7 o'clock tip. Georgetown on the road at Hendrickson High School. Come join us if you can't. Listen to First Responder Broadcasting here on the SHN Network, and we're brought to you solely by Mackay Ford Lincoln and Mackay Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good weekend, and remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night, everybody.